Welcome back, everyone. So we left off right before what if you were given 2 points and you need to write a line. So we are going to learn to write a linear expression given 2 points are x1, y1 and x2, y2, and we're going to follow this process. So we need to use our slope formula. Do you guys remember our slope formula? That was the y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And we're going to use the point slope formula, which is what we learned about in the previous video. The y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Okay? Alright, so we use our slope formula when we are given 2 points. Okay? So, given 2 points, right? And we use our slope formula when we are given, hold on, I already used that color. Given 1 point and slope. Okay? Alright, so if we are just given 2 points, we can use the 2 points to find our slope. So that is always going to be our first step, okay? So step 1, find slope, okay? And then our step 2 is going to be use slope and 1 point, just one, it does not matter which one. And you're going to use the point slope formula. And then your final step is going to be simplify. And just a pro tip, final answer should be in your slope-intercept form. Which is y equals mx plus b. Alrighty? Okay, so then let's get started. In number 7, we are given our 2 points. Okay, so like always, I like to say that this is my x1 and my y1, which you can't really see, but you know. And this is my x2 and my y2. Okay? Alright. So since I need to start with my y2, it's going to be -1 minus 7 and then over x2, which is 1, and then minus a -3. So remember, our minuses are always there because that's what's in our formula. Let me zoom in a little bit more. There we go. Okay, so our minuses are always there because they're in our formula. This second minus right here, this negative, came because we have a -3. All right? Okay, so then we can simplify this. So let's go ahead and do that. So -1 minus 7 gives me -8 over 1 minus a -3. Well, remember, negative makes this positive. So what is 1 plus 3? Good, it's 4. And then our final answer is -8 divided by 4, which gives me -2. Now, why did we do this? What is -2? Waiting on an answer. Hopefully, you said that -2 is your slope. Okay, this is our m. Okay, this is what we are going to use for our point slope formula. Okay, because we're given 2 points and now we have just found our slope. Okay, alrighty, So now we get to use our point slope formula, which is what we just learned about. Okay, so we have our y minus y1. Well, since I said that y1 was 7, remember up here I said this was y1, so I'm just going to go ahead and use that one. No, it does not matter. You could absolutely use -1 here and you would get the same answer. Okay? Alright, but I'm going to use this point because that's what I said. Okay, so then I put my equal sign. And then we need our slope. What's our slope? Good, we just solved for it. It's -2. And then we have our parentheses and our x minus. And then what's my x1? Good, it's -3. Okay? And this becomes a problem just like we did on the previous page. Okay? So first thing we can do is that double negative inside of our parentheses. That double negative becomes a positive. Alrighty, and then we can distribute our -2. So we get y minus 7 equals -2 times x gives me -2x. And then -2 times a +3 gives me -6. Good. And then our final step is to add 7. So then we get y equals, remember -2x and 7 cannot be combined because they both do not have this x. Only our -2x has the x. Our 7 is just a whole number. Okay? So it's a constant, -2x. And then -6 plus 7 will give me a +1. And if you notice, we are in y equals mx plus b form. Because our m is -2. And then what's my y-intercept? It's that 1, which is my b. Perfect. Okay? So that's how we are going to be solving these. Alright, so let's take a look at number 8. Okay? Alright, to show you guys that this will work if you do it the opposite way, I'm going to do it the opposite way. So this time, 3 is going to be my x1, and -4 is going to be my y1. And then -6 is going to be my x2, and -7 is going to be my y2. Alrighty. So since it is y2 minus y1, I'm going to have -7 minus a -4. And then over x2, I said was -6. x1, so we always have our minus, and then this is a +3. Okay? Alright, and then -7 minus a -4, well, minus negative always turns positive, so this becomes -7 plus 4, which will give me -3. And then -6 minus 3 will give me -9. Can this simplify? Of course it can. Why else would I put the equal sign? Alright, so negative will make it positive, and then we divide both sides by 3. So divide the top by 3 and you get 1. Divide the bottom by 3 and you get 3. So then our slope is 1/3. Okay? Alrighty. And now I need to use my point slope formula because now we are on step 2. So I'm going to use my slope and 1 point, which is my x1 and my y1, for my point slope formula. Okay. So I have my y minus my y1, which I said was -4. And and then equals my slope, which was the 1/3, and then times x minus my x1, which is that 3 right there. Remember, because I said that this was going to be my first point this time? That's where I'm getting these numbers from. In the previous problem, I used this point as my x1, and so now I'm just showing you that it works no matter which point that you use. Okay? All right, so x minus 3. There we go. Alrighty, so we have y minus a negative 4, which is going to become a positive 4. Good. So I have y plus 4 equals, and now we need to distribute our 1/3. So 1/3 times x will just give me 1/3 x. And then 1/3 times negative 3 is going to give me negative 3 over 3. Alrighty, you okay with that? Because all I did was multiply the top, our numerator, times the whole number of negative 3. Okay, because that's all that we do when we multiply fractions and whole numbers. Alrighty, so next I am going to rewrite y plus 4 equals 1/3 x, because negative 3 divided by 3 will give me negative 1. And for our final step, what do I need to do? I need to subtract 4 from both sides. So y equals 1/3 x minus 5. And that's our answer. Good? Okay. How about you guys try 9 through 12? Okay, so you should pause the video now and you should try 9 through 12. Alrighty, so hopefully you have just rejoined us and you should have 9 through 12 filled out before I start going over this video. And obviously I am currently filming while at school because that would be the bell. But that's okay. So I am just going to find the slope, and again I'm going to go through this a little bit faster because we should already know this by now. So y2 is negative 6 minus your y1 of negative 1 over 4 minus 2. Positive positive will become negative 5 over 2. And this is your slope. Okay. And then I have, and it does not matter which point you use, so I'm going to use the first one because why not? Y minus negative 1 equals your slope of negative 5 over 2 times x minus 2. Okay? Alright, y minus negative 1, y plus 1 equals, and you're going to distribute, so negative 5 over 2x plus 10 over 2 becomes a plus because negative 5 times negative 2. Alright, I'm going to switch up my colors again because I forgot to do that in the last step. So y plus 1 equals negative 5 over 2x, and then 10 divided by 2 will give me 5. And finally we are going to subtract 1 from both sides to get y equals negative 5 over 2x plus 4. And that is our final answer. Next one, we have negative 8 minus 7, and I'm just flip-flopping which points I use as my first point and my second point, just to show you guys that it does not matter which one you start with, okay? So don't get too confused because again, it does not matter. Negative 8 minus 7 will give me a negative 15 over negative 5, which is going to give me a positive 3 as my slope. And then y minus 2 equals 3 times x minus 7. Nothing to simplify here, so just bring it down. Distribute your 3, so 3x minus 21, because remember 3 times negative 7 is negative 21. And then we are going to add 2 to both sides to get y equals 3x. Sorry, waiting for the bell. Okay, so we are adding 2 to both sides to get 3x minus 19. Okay. Alrighty, for number 11, let's see, negative 1 minus negative 3 over negative 4 minus negative 6. And this becomes 2 over 2, which will equal 1, which is our slope. And then we have y minus negative 4, excuse me, sorry guys, equals 1 times, what did I do wrong? Right here, I put the negative 4 instead of the negative 1. Sorry guys. Okay, so y minus negative 1, because that is my y, equals 1 times x minus negative 4. Okay, so this will become positive, so y plus 1 equals, make this positive, distribute your 1. Well, anything times 1 is just itself, so we have x plus 4. And then we are going to subtract the 1 to get y equals x plus 3. And finally, we have, let's do 7 minus 2 over negative 4 minus 6. 7 minus 2 is going to give me 5. Negative 4, negative 6 will give me negative 10. Divide both sides by 5, so this will give me a negative 1/2, which is our slope. And then we will have y minus 2 equals negative 1/2 x minus 6. Y minus 2 equals negative 1/2 x, and then plus 6 over 2. Minus 2 equals negative 1/2 x plus 3, because 6 divided by 2 gives me 3. And then we're just going to add this 2 to both sides to get y equals negative 1/2 x plus 5 as our final answer. Okay. Alrighty, so if you have any questions, please rewatch the video. I know I went through the last 4 kind of fast, but that's because we went through the first 2 really slow, and you guys did point slope formula all on the previous video. Okay, so if you have questions about point slope formula, use the other video first. Alrighty, and I think this video is done, and you guys have another assignment to do, and I should have passed it already out to you, and if you didn't get one, raise your hand. Alright, see you later, guys.